Okay, so this video is going to show you how to create a bootable macOS X Lion image, so you can install macOS Lion in a virtual machine. And to do this, you need a snow leopard VM, already usable. I'm just going to use the 10.6.8 image that I put on my channel a while ago, and I'm just going to talk you through it so you can create your own bootable Lion image if you wish. And it also works the same way on a Hackintosh, so you can create it in a separate partition on your Hackintosh. So first things first is you want to add a 5 GB hard disk to your VM. So just click add, then hard disk, create new virtual disk, SCSI, and just make it 5 GB in size and press next. And call it installer, or call it whatever you want really, but I'm just going to call it installer. And press OK. And then you want to boot into your machine. And basically the people who do this on Hackintosh, what you need to do is you need to create a new partition out of your existing space on your VM. Hang on, let me just connect something to my machine. Right, so the people on Hackintosh, you want to create an extra partition, and then you want to do this into that partition. Basically just treat the extra hard drive on the virtual machine as a partition, and just do the same things but into your partition. And what that will achieve is at the end you just set yourself to boot from that partition, and you can boot into the installer and just install over. But of course, people using Hackintosh, you have to copy over kext such as fake smc.kext and stuff like that. But I'm sure that if you're using Hackintosh, you already know how to do those and you know the ones you need to copy. So there you go. You can do that, I'm pretty sure. However, if you need help, you can just ask me and I'll help you out. But most of you probably already know how to do that. And let's just wait for this to boot up. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. This it's not the most complicated thing, but it's just knowing what commands to use and how to do stuff, and I'm just going to go through it because that's obviously the easiest thing. Right, let me just ignore that. And I also need to just very quickly connect my... Right, so obviously you're going to need either the DMG, the app, or the ISO of macOS X Lion, and you want the install ESD, so which you can see there. But first things first, you need to press go and go to utilities, and you want to open up disk utility, and you want to create a partition on the 5 GB virtual disk. One partition, and you want to call it, or call it whatever you want, but for this I'm just going to call it line installer, so you can see the difference between the disks I'm using. And press apply, and then partition it, and you can see it appears there. Right, so as I said, on Hackintosh people, you just want to trim your disk, or create a new partition, and then do exactly the same thing. Right, so close that now, and you want to open up terminal. So again in utilities, just go down to terminal. 1 second, I just need to set a password on my account so I can run sudo. There we go. Right, so first things first, you want to get your install ESD, which is right there. People with the ISO, you can just attach the ISO to the virtual machine. And then you want to type into terminal cd volumes mac. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Forgot I had an American keyboard. Volumes Mac OS X install ESD, and that basically puts you into the install ESD as your directory, and then you just type open base system.dmg, and you'll see that it starts to verify the base system. Right, so what you'll get is a little base system like drive pop up here. Right, so there you go. You can see the base system and you can see it pops up here, and there's your app to install Lion. But you want to close that for now, and you want to open up disk utility again. And at this point you want to click on the restore tab. Just click on a drive and click on restore. And you want to untick erase destination. And you want to copy Lion installer to your destination and Mac OS X base system to source. And just drag those both in and make sure you've got erase destination unticked and just press restore. And this takes about 5 minutes. You'll be told to input your password there. Just go for that. And okay, apparently it's going to take 10 minutes. I doubt it's actually going to take that long. So we'll just let it run through very quickly. Or hopefully very quickly. I may just actually pause the video right now and come back to it. No, maybe not, it's going fast enough. Right, okay, so basically, for those people who actually aren't following very well, what you just do is you mount the base system, and then you're going to copy the base system to the Lion installer, which gives you the installer image on your Lion installer. However, there's a few modifications you actually need to do to the installer image and the base system on the partition, which I'm going to go through in a minute. And this is how you just, basically what you need to do is to install from the partition that you're making. You need to add the partition to a virtual machine that you're going to create, so just create a new machine for Lion, and have the normal hard drive that you're going to be using, so say 100 gigabyte virtual hard drive, and add a second hard drive as we did on this machine, but add the existing vmdk file that you're going to create. And basically, because there's no operating system on your primary hard drive, it will actually skip to the second one to boot from that instead. And because that will be a bootable image, so a bootable Lion installer, it will actually just boot into the installation, which allows you to just install Lion on the actual primary hard drive. And as soon as that's just installed, you can just unattach the Lion installer hard drive and just have your primary hard drive there, and there you go. That's Lion in a virtual machine. But obviously, it's never that simple. There's a few things you need to edit first, especially one that came to my attention recently, is you actually need to tell the installer that it's actually server version, because obviously VMware only supports server. But that's pretty simple. It's just a couple of other things, which I'm going to go through as I say. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. But as usual, subscribe to my channel. If you have any problems, just let me know. I know none of you are hesitating to let me know. And I do get back as fast as possible, but I've had like 700 emails in the last like 3 days or something stupid. So just try to be understanding if I'm very slow to reply. Comments are always good on the video, because if I answer a comment, or if you come up with a fix and you comment it, other people can see it and therefore they don't have to ask. So that's always a good thing, so I encourage commenting. And basically, once you've created this image, this installer image, what you can do is, if you look on my channel, there's another video which shows you how to use an installer image, which actually has a download for an installer image. But since you're actually creating your own here, you can just use this one instead and just like swap out what I use in mine and use yours instead, and it should work. And that's just in case you want a visual aid of how to actually install, because I'm not going to go through installing in this video because it'll make it too long, make it like 25 minutes or something. So this is almost finished. And at the end, I think I'm right in saying that at the end of creating this image, the Lion installer will actually be at the most 4.2 gigabytes large. So make sure you have space to create that. And well, yeah, obviously, you just make sure you've got enough space to actually create that image, because if you don't, then this won't work. And as I say, you can either use the app, the ISO, or the DMG to create this, because the Mac OS X install ESD is in all of them, except perhaps the DMG. I think, never mind, ignore that, it's in the DMG. I'm sure. Right, okay. So there you go, you see it's been copied over to line installer. So you want to close disk utility and go back to terminal. And you now want to type in cp volumes, again with the stupid thing, sorry about that. cp volumes Mac OS X installer ESD / kernel cache, and then space, oh wait, not space, sorry, and then space to volumes lion installer kernel cache. Have I typoed there? I can't see if I've typoed there. Oh yeah, I have. Whoops. Apologies for that. I'm not sure if that should have. No. Volumes lion installer kernel cache. Right, so basically that just copies the kernel cache across to the installer image. And next thing you want to do is you want to open up the base system. So go to Finder and Computer and open up the line installer. And you want to go to Library, Preferences, System Configuration, and you want to drag the com.apple.boot.plist file to the desktop and move the one from the actual configuration folder to the trash, which should work. And you want to open up the one you copied to the desktop just while that's right. There we go. So remove that, and you want to add another line. So key kernel cache. So you need the stupid little. Hang on, let me just zap out of my VM. 1 second, I need to copy something because I don't have the actual. Damn it. Apologies for this, it's because this Hackintosh doesn't have one of the keys that I need. There we go. Kernel cache key, and then enter, and again string so I want to put that in the bottom bit, just after string, and in the top section you want to just type in kernel cache. Make sure that that goes back to the bottom. So you can see there, your boot playlist should look like that. So just close it and save it, and then drag it back into the system configuration folder. The reason you have to delete the original is because there's a load of permission problems, so you can just do it like that. And close that, and then back into terminal, and you want to type in sudo rm volumes lion installer system installation packages, and give a password, and then you want to type in sudo cp -r volumes Mac OS X install ESD, so packages, and then space volumes lion installer system installation packages, and hit enter. And basically what that does is removes the actual packages that are already in the line installer and then copies the packages from the Mac OSX installer, ESD2 to line install. It just makes it a bit more stable, I suppose is the word, and it takes a little while, so I'll just let it run through. Right, so this actually copies quite a bit, so just give it a minute. And after this, we don't actually have to do much else except for convince itself that it's a server image. And then if we convince itself that it's a server image, it can then install itself in VMware. Unlike the ISO apparently, which has some sort of server check, which I did not see coming at all. And I don't quite understand why it doesn't work on anybody else's except mine. But I have a couple of theories which hopefully I can actually turn into a little patch to allow you all to actually just install it from the ISO, but and this is the only way to do it. And let's just let it run through. Sorry about the long video, but it's just making sure that you can see the whole thing and not so that I don't do something without you noticing, so you can actually just see the entire thing. I personally, for myself, I actually find that a lot better than rather just seeing bits of things. So just like see it in one big video. So if not, you can always just like skip through the bits that you don't want to watch. One thing, no, probably if you're actually bothered about using your Snow Leopard, you need to get rid of that com.apple.boot.plist, or it might actually cause problems, so just get rid of that. Right, so we'll wait for terminal to finish. And if anybody has any requests for videos, for example, this video is actually a request of someone who wanted to create their own instead of downloading because they already had the ISO. Just message me them because I'll probably do them because as for most of you, it's the summer holidays now, so I don't actually have that much on. So I've got plenty of time, and it's just knowing what people want to see and what they want doing, etc., etc. So just let me know. For people who were looking for the Snow Leopard videos, the 10.6.8 one will be uploaded soon. Sorry for the wait, but I've changed how it boots up, so there's no need for boot ISOs. It just boots up really nice and simply. It's just as though it was a Windows VM. It has all the fixes in, so the PCI fix, and also it has the USB fixes, which some of you had with the touchpad issues, etc., etc. It has the latest updates, and there was something else I did to it, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, and there's also a hardware virtualization bypasser. So for everybody who was seeing those stupid little, this machine, I can't even remember what it was, even though I read it like 7,000 times. The message that said, this VM needs hardware virtualization, you only have software virtualization or whatever it is, something like that. There's a way to bypass that now, so, and it's actually proven working. I've given it to like 5 people who've told me that it works. So that's always a good sign. So that's AMD users and Intel 2 Duo core processors. So people using those, lucky you, it's sorted. And there we go. So that is complete now. The package has been copied. And now all we have left to do is type cd volumes, line installer, system library core services, and that puts us into the core services of the Lion installer, and you just want to type in sudo touch server version .plist and press enter. Password, whoops, I've typed that in wrong. I've done it again. Password. And there you go. So basically that is the core services sorted. It's recognized as a server version. So I'm just going to close that and close the terminal. Not the terminal. Well, yeah, the terminal on the machine. So shut down. Wait for it to turn off. Let me just get rid of this. Right, so now where we have the 5 GB file, if you just, so let me just close this VM and I'll show you how to start up a new VM, even though I said I wouldn't, but I'll do it anyway. You just press new virtual machine, typical. I will install the operating system layer, Mac OS X 10.6 server. People need to run the patch before that, but you probably already know about the patch if you're doing this. If you don't know about the patch, let me know and I'll tell you what to do. Just call it Lion. Next, give it 40 gigabytes. Yep, finish. Alright, so you need to edit virtual machine settings. You need to change the memory to 2048 first because it needs 2 gigabytes of RAM to install. After the installation, though, you can put it back down to whatever you want. I recommend 1024. That's just my preference. You may have a different one. And then you want to click Add Hard Disk, create a new virtual disk, SCSI, next. Oh wait, I didn't want to create a new one, sorry. Use an existing virtual disk, next, and then browse. And then you want to find the one that you've just created in the other virtual machine. I've forgotten where I've put mine. I think it must have been in here. Right, so there you go. That is the installer that I just created. As I say, you can see it's 4.1 gig big. Yours, it can actually vary in size, so don't worry if yours is slightly smaller or slightly larger. And just double click that, finish. So you can see the 5 GB there. Press OK. Power on the machine. And you should get the little boot up screen from your VM. There we go. I can't put it in full screen, I'll just have to do it like that. That error has nothing to do with the machine, it's just my CD drives playing up. Right, so wait for it to boot, and what it's actually doing here is because there's no operating system on the actual primary hard drive, it's gone to the second hard drive because it's recognized that there's actually something on there and it's bootable, so it's actually gone onto there, and you can see that it's recognized the Apple here, and that's because it's booting into the installer. And I'm not going to go through the entire installation because that would just be a complete waste of time, but I'm going to show you how it starts off. Right, so we'll just let it boot up. Shouldn't be too long. And just to get it actually clear, when we said that it was a server version of Lion, when we entered that command, it doesn't actually turn it into the server version of Lion, it just flags it as though it is. So it's like saving, I don't know, what can we think? It's like saving a file as, or whatever, I don't know. It's like saving a text file, saving something as a text file, but it's actually a picture or something, a JPG file, and it's saved as a text file, so it sees it as a text file. So Windows sees it as a text file, but it actually isn't a text file, it's just that kind of thing. And you can see here we have the Lion welcome screen. Use English, continue. Obviously you don't have to use English, that's just me speaking English. And there you go, install Mac OS X. So you go to Utilities, Disk Utility, and this is nothing difficult, this is just simple. But you have to obviously format your virtual drive that you've added to this machine. So erase, put it in journaled, Wow, my typing's awful tonight. Erase it. It takes about 5 seconds. Okay, maybe more than 5 seconds. There we go. And close that. Press continue. Agree to the software, and you should get one disk to install on, which is right there, Macintosh HD, which I just created. Press install, and there you go. Installing Lion from a bootable vmdk. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to talk any longer because it's already been, what, 20 minutes? I think 20 minutes, something around there. So, as I said, any problems, contact me. This does work. There's no doubt about it. It works on okay. It's important to make clear that it possibly works on AMD computers. I mean, it'll work on some, but not others. So be aware about that. Definitely works on anything on Intel above a Duo processor. So an i3, an i5, an i7. Perfect. Go for it. Takes about half an hour to install. Half an hour to an hour, somewhere around there. So don't worry if it looks as though it's not doing anything. It actually is. And if you have fears that it's not doing something, just go check on the actual virtual disk and see if it's getting bigger in file size. And if it is, obviously it's doing something. So yeah, any problems, let me know. This is just one of those videos that is easier than typing it all out. But I'm going to type it all out anyway. But yeah, people who want to update from Snow Leopard VMs to Lion VMs, this is how you do it. And this is before you wipe your Snow VM, so there you go. Subscribe, like, comment, rate, all the normal YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. I hope it didn't bore you too much, but it's one of those things. And yeah, until next video, thanks for watching. Bye.